Are you looking for your next family vacation? Trying to find something that appeals to the adults and the kids in your house? Today I've got 10 of my all-time favorites to share with you. And some won't even break your budget. I'm Shannon Germain, and this is It's the Norm. So we're in the middle of a pandemic and no one is traveling anywhere for fun. For travel addicts like me, it's super depressing. But wait, it won't always be this way. So what better time to cheer yourself up by planning your next vacation? Here are my top 10 favorite vacation destinations for families. Some are cheap, some expensive, some will actually get your kids learning on their vacations, and some will simply blow your mind.
Number 10, Countersport, Pennsylvania. Wait, what? Where the heck is Countersport? Well, this little-known destination is in rural Pennsylvania, and it's home to the only designated dark sky on the eastern seaboard. So if you have never seen the Milky Way in all its glory, then a trip to Countersport is a must. The best time to go is on a clear night and during a new moon so that you don't have the light of the moon competing with the stars. It's also best during the summer when the night sky faces the direction of the celestial core of our galaxy. That's right, you can actually see the center of our galaxy, and it will blow your mind. One other thing you simply must do is check out Andromeda with a pair of good binoculars, because that's all it takes to see it. I'll put the link to the awesome binoculars we got in the description below. Andromeda looks like a big thumbprint in the sky. But in that thumbprint are a mind-blowing 1 trillion stars. One place for great star viewing there is Cherry Springs State Park. I'll put their link in my description below. You can even stay right there in the park. But we opted to stay at the Frosty Hollow Bed and Breakfast and had a great time. There are a few other sites to check out when you're in Countersport. The Kinzua Bridge was a railroad bridge that got hit by a tornado. It's crazy that this is what a tornado can do. Number 9, the Grand Canyon. Words cannot even express how incredible this place is. I know, you've seen the photo, so you think that's enough. But really, no photo will quite capture what it feels like to have all that beauty surrounding you. Book well in advance if you want to stay in the park itself, which I definitely recommend. And if you fly into Phoenix Airport and drive to the Grand Canyon from there, be sure to stop in Sedona for a night or two, because its beauty is almost otherworldly. Number 8, Disney World. My beloved Disney World nearly didn't make my list, just because it's really expensive. But if you stay in one of their budget hotels, that cuts down on the cost quite a bit. And let's face it, the real fun is in the parks. I can't stress enough how important it is to go during off-season. I've heard that September is actually their slowest month, but we've gone a few times in early May and barely have to wait in lines. So do your research and plan ahead, because this one is a budget buster. Number 7, Virginia Beach. This is one of my all-time favorite beaches. The sand is so soft on your feet, and the dolphins swim so close to the shore it will shock you. Keep an eye out, because the Blue Angels often fly over Virginia Beach. It's a really awesome sight to see. There are tons of hotels to stay at here. My favorite is the Hilton Garden Inn Virginia Beach Oceanfront. And I always go during off-season so that I don't have to deal with the crazy crowds. Number 6, Crystal River. Crystal River is the only place where you can legally swim with wild manatees. And I can't tell you what an incredible experience it is to be floating next to these mammoth but so gentle creatures. I wrote an article about the experience and I'll post it below in the description. But it's really one of those things you must do. Just please be respectful of the wildlife and obey the rules, because we must protect these creatures so that future generations will be able to enjoy them. Number 5. Colonial Williamsburg. Picture a place where you feel literally transported to a different time, immersed in history. That's exactly what Colonial Williamsburg is. When I was there, I marched with a militia and took part in a colonial court case, and even talked to Thomas Jefferson. I love this destination because it's one of those places where you take kids and they don't even know that they're learning. I got so into it that the second time we went, I bought a colonial costume on Etsy first so that I could feel even more like a part of the fun. I'll put the Etsy link in my description below for the person who made my dress. Number 4. Alaska cruise. Or any cruise. The great thing about cruising is that there are things to do for everyone in your family. And you don't have to spend the whole trip on top of each other. Most cruise lines have age-specific clubs. Like on my NCL Bliss cruise to Alaska, I was a tween, so I hung out in the Oceaneer Club. But by the time I took the NCL Escape to the Bahamas, I was a teen, so I hung out in the Entourage Club. Back when I was younger, I took a Disney cruise and was in their Oceaneer Club. I love to be able to spend time away from my family sometimes, and they love having date nights by themselves. So that's why even my favorite cruise goes to Alaska. Really just about any cruise from any port is a surefire hit with my family. Number 3. Niagara Falls. I couldn't find the photos that I took for this, which is really bad because you can see that I wasn't really photogenic when I was a kid. If you are on the East Coast, this is a great driving destination. It's one of those things that you can check off your list and be wowed at the same time. We stayed at the Marriott Falls View, where our room overlooked the waterfall, and it was spectacular. There are lots of family-friendly activities and shops and restaurants in the area too. It doesn't take more than a couple days to see your fill of it too. So if you're within driving range, it won't break your budget. Number 2, New York City. Oh, don't get me started on New York City. Yes, it's crazy expensive, and yes, even if you spend an entire week there, you'll never see everything. I also would only recommend this to families with older kids, maybe tweens at the youngest. And here's an idea that might be a little more attainable. Try going for just a night or two. This is definitely best when you've got a family because it can be a little overwhelming for kids. So get a sampling of the action. And don't be too quick to grab those $1,000 tickets to the latest Broadway show. For me, it's just as much fun walking around, grabbing a bagel at a deli, and watching all the people pass by at Bryant Park. And yes, I'm a huge Impractical Jokers fan, so I'm always looking out for the guys. Haven't gotten to see them yet, but I'm still hoping. And finally, number 1, Hawaii. If you need to be told why Hawaii is my number 1 family destination, then you definitely haven't been there. They've got whales in the water, year-round dolphins, several different kinds of sand including green, and the Milky Way stretched out above you every clear night. And yes, the plane trip there will blow your budget, but the first time I went, we saved up our Delta Sky Miles and got all our tickets for free. Yes, free. And when we stay at the Hilton Kingsland, we get our own kitchen. So we eat in most of the time, and since most of the beaches are free, you really don't have to go into debt to see this island. I've got a couple other videos about Hawaii here on my channel, so be sure to check them out.
So that's it, my top 10 trips for families. I hope it gets you focused on all the good times we can all look forward to when this pandemic is over. Stay healthy and safe, everyone, and please subscribe.